What's up? What's up?
What's up?
You got the mask on.
Dude,
This is the way. This is
dude,
the
what?
way.
I mean, I don't know if you've been watching the new Boba Fett.
Yeah, I like it,
But
man.
yeah, I'm telling you right now, it's so much better. The Mando is fucking back, dude.
Yeah, I seen it. That last episode that I watched showed him come back. Yeah.
Dude, so like dude, it's I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Like I know it's not nothing to do with cars or whatever. Actually, it is because I have some Star Wars villain cars back
Right.
there, like the Sith guys. But
Yeah, I watched it. I gotta watch the latest episode, but I watched because I think there's a new one out now, right? After the one Mando
yeah, I
came
think
back in.
Tuesdays or Wednesdays it comes out. I think
Wednesdays.
Yeah. So, dude, this is the way.
Yeah, because I was walking through the living room earlier. My daughter was on Disney Plus, and I seen it up there. I was like, "Oh yeah, there's probably a new episode out. I need to."
And you're like, "I gotta be checking that out later."
Yeah.
No football on today, so you're gonna be. I mean, the Pro Bowl's on. The Pro Bowl's on. Yeah, I mean, the Pro Bowl's on, so that is pretty much no football.
You're right.
The best one was Ray Lewis in the Pro Bowl because he would go balls to the wall. Eddie George was scared of him.
Or Sean Taylor.
Yeah. Eddie George was scared of him back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like,
I just remember that one with Sean Taylor where he blasted Mormon.
Yeah. I think it was another one like Eddie George, or it could have been a Sean Taylor hit. Like the guy was just casually trying to go out of bounds and fucking just lambasted.
Sean Taylor come flying up, just blast the shit out of him.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's good. I mean, we finally had a week in the hobby where there wasn't really too much like any really bad news.
Yeah.
I mean, Star Stock, I think, happened last week where, that was another submission, kind of like Mark's cards.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, that's what, what's his name from Tampa Card Shop was talking about.
Yeah, it was last week. Like, it was pretty much another one. But like I said, like, I think we need to weed out these people to make the hobby grow. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, you got to get rid of the bad apples.
Yep. Rid of the bad apples and, allow for new ones. But I'll tell you this, like the card show I went to this weekend, it was a smaller one, but it's a great buying show. I ripped through some of the dollar boxes and whatnot. I got like 10 cards for like $10, but like some of them were nice, man.
Yeah. That's what I like doing, just going through the little bargain boxes and
like
dollar boxes.
The ones I already listed online, but I mean, like, it's a luminous, but it's like Anthony Edwards green.
Oh yeah.
So I mean that'd bring a couple bucks. A Bobby Witt Jr. futurist. I'll hang on to that one. See how he does this season. Like, even like tiny like rookie cup. It's the paper rookie cup, but I mean they're something more than $1. So and then I had more too. I'd put over here. Like I think I listed them on eBay already to see what they'll do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my favorite thing to do is just go through them little bargain boxes because you always find shit,
Yeah, like I found so on one of them, one of the guys, like I love talking to him. He's my hockey guy I go to for any stuff on hockey, like big into hockey. Yeah. And he had some bargains in there, and two of them I gave they were nice patches, like New Jersey Devils. One was Kincaid, the goalie, and the other one was who's that? Zach? I can't think. Yeah, forget his name. Anyways, like they're like rookie auto patches, and they're just patches. I don't think they're rookies, but they're just nice patches with autos, and they're numbered. And I gave those two to Brian over at Tampa Card Shop because he's a New Jersey Devils guy.
Yeah,
but I got those like 3 badass cards for like $10 on dollar bins. And like probably if I were to sell those online, like just alone, I'd probably make $20 for those 2 devil cards and whatever, So I mean,
I did pretty decent with some hockey cards that I got. I don't really know much about hockey, but that one $40 box I told you I bought off of Facebook one time, found a lot of shit in there. Like I had some, I believe they were flawless hockey patch auto cards, rookies, stuff like that. So I still got them. They were numbered out of like 25.
This is the what? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
This is the way, dude.
This is the way.
But for example, out of that same one, I got a Walter Payton Sweetness. It's numbered
Yeah,
out
I
of
like that.
149.
Yeah.
149, and on eBay, I was looking like the asking prices are like $50 for these,
Nice.
but they're selling for like the 30s. And this
Yeah.
was, so I'll take the chance. And then
And you
these
got it
deck
for
cards have
$1.
been pretty hot too.
Is that Najee?
Yeah, it's Najee.
Yeah.
So I mean, this was out of the one for like $10 where I had those other cards in. I'm like, I'll take the chance, dude. Like those deck cards have been pretty good.
So you got all those for $1 a piece?
Yeah, I listed that
Hell
deck card
yeah.
on eBay for $10, man. If it makes it, it makes it. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, hell, any profit's profit. Yeah.
Yeah, and all I use is that stuff to go towards Brady stuff or Gator stuff for the PC or whatnot. So
hell yeah. That's what I'll be doing in March, just rummaging through all those dollar boxes.
Yeah, and I mean, you might not make a fortune, but I mean, if you buy a car for $1 or so, or a couple bucks, and you sell a car for $20, I mean $18, and you do that on a couple cards.
Yeah, and like, some of them, if you get if you get them slabbed, I mean, shit, you can make even double that.
Yeah, so it's crazy. I mean, it's work. Don't get me wrong. Like when I was doing it, it was a ton of work.
Yeah.
Like, and you get kind of like, for me, I kind of get fucking impatient going through everything.
Yeah. Like, I'll start skipping stacks,
Yeah. After a while, or I'm like, what's in these display cases?
Yeah.
So what I did, this was a smaller show. Like it's not as big as the Tampa one, but for me personally, I enjoy it. Like I made this show. I just made my rounds first and looked at all the cases.
Yeah.
And then I started hitting the box, so I didn't feel rushed, like I missed something in the cases. So that's how I do it on the smaller shows. The bigger shows, I mean, it's too hard to do that.
Yeah, a lot of me and my wife went to the last one, and she was going through a lot of the singles, the dollar boxes, value boxes.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one that found a few of the ones that I snagged. She's like, "Hey, what about this one?"
Did you show her how to do it?
Huh? Yeah.
Did you show her? Or did she pick it up
herself? She's the one that found that Micah Parsons out of 15 for me. Yeah. Only paid a couple bucks for it. So
you probably showed her and been like, "This is the way."
Yeah.
This is the way.
Yeah, she knows what to look for. She just says, she's like, I don't know everything y'all are talking about, but she's like, I just, listen to you talk about them all the time and know what to look for, at least, when it comes to like low number stuff like that.
But that's the thing too, is that we don't know everything, but like just like her ability to want to learn is like amazing, Like,
yeah, she really enjoyed it too. I was talking to her, I think it was yesterday, about the March one, and I was asking her if she wanted to go again. I was like, you don't have to if you didn't, if it's boring for you or something. Yeah, and she's like, no, I enjoyed going. She was like, oh, I had fun. So
I don't know. Like, I think it's something you're getting out. Like, even people that aren't, like, I had past girlfriends that fucking didn't want to go, or they went.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, oh, I kind of have fun. Like, it's, it's kind of like male shopping for us, Like,
yeah. I think she likes it. She's more into, like football cards and stuff because she enjoys football.
But that's something too that's not even like they're getting everybody involved because it might not be football or sports, but those Leaf Pop Century cards,
yeah,
where you get like actors, like singers, whatever.
Yeah,
like those have been extremely popular.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I had showed you, but you know how Topps came out with those Topps X cards. I got her a Luke Combs card because that's her favorite, country singer. So I got her that Luke Combs Topps card. I sent it in to Pure Graded X to get graded, so it looked pretty cool with those slabs that they have. So hopefully I should be getting that one back pretty soon for her. But
yeah, it's cool. I mean, going into
she gets into the football cards. She enjoys looking at them and stuff. She'll sit there and break open packs with me and stuff whenever I buy some.
Well, we can get into it. We have our guest for this week. guy that I know from down here in Tampa. He kind of was like my resource for like downtowns, any insert cards like those newer ones, and just because of the artwork. But then he is my guy who I go to about tickets. So he
Yeah.
got really big into the ticket market. He goes by, Chris Robles. His Instagram handle, we can throw that up there too, if you're not following him already. But if you want to bring Chris on, we can have him.
All righty. What's up, man? Welcome to the
What's up,
show.
dude?
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Good. You doing all
How
right,
about
man?
you?
Good, man. Good. I'm ready for this.
Dude, we were just talking about just like how we saw the hobby. Sorry, I had my Mando shit on, man. Like I don't know if you've been watching. Have you been watching that, or do you watch that at all?
I actually did.
Dude, that's Boba Fett's turned into a good show now. Mando's on.
Yeah. Actually, I haven't watched Boba Fett. I watched the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian.
Yeah, well, sorry, I just fucking spoiler alerted you.
No, you're good. You didn't really
Hey, man, Boba Fett is good.
Boba Fett was good. I mean, it's just I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna get everything into this one season that they have of them, especially when the last 2 episodes have been about that Mando.
Right.
But
yeah, it'll be interesting.
But
my wife, she loves the baby Yoda, so she,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
He makes some. I don't want to spoil alert that, but he's in this.
My wife converted me into a Star Wars fan.
Yeah, yeah, dude. So tell us a little about yourself, man. Like how when did you get into the hobby? Like what did you first start collecting? Like what do you transition to now?
Yeah, I appreciate it. So what was that?
I understand.
I thought you'll ask one more question. Okay, so no, man. I mean, I got into the hobby. I mean, probably like a lot of people. Once it very first got a little bit of attention, and started heating up. I mean, luckily I did get in early enough to where from a money standpoint, I was able to make some early money on it. Now I feel like that's becoming a little harder, but I'd say it was probably about close to 3 years ago at this point now.
Mm-hmm.
So I got in right at that beginning stage of like this recent uptick that we've seen. But to me, it was interesting because I've always loved sports. Always. I've always loved being creative with my investments. And to me, it was just like a perfect combination. Like I do stocks and all that as well, like many of the other people that are in the hobby. But to me, it was like being able to do stocks with sports. So it was like, sign me up. Unfortunately, what happens though in this is sometimes we start buying stuff that we want to just PC and not just make money on. I say unfortunately, but it's still fun, So I've spent a lot of money on just PC because of it. But I've also made a lot of money along the way. I've had a couple of really nice hits, not necessarily pools, but like on flips that I've made that have made it all worth it in regards to being able to put some money into my PC as well. But yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, man, I like doing things a little different. I like the case hit type of stuff. I like the downtowns. I've been on those since before people thought downtowns were that cool. I do the luminance moments. I've been trying to work on that set just because they're extremely hard to fill. And then my most recent one that I've been getting into, as you mentioned, is tickets. I mean, to me, I think tickets are more of a fun long-term hunt than cards personally. But I mean, don't get me wrong, I still do both. Yeah. Me, man.
And then when we first met like at one of the Tampa shows, and then he's I think it was Collectors Con, but I mean the downtowns, like I was a fan of the artwork of them, and you were kind of in the same realm. Like they're just like some of the artwork on them was pretty nice. And then he comes from behind the table with this 2-boxer of just all downtowns.
Oh,
man,
yeah.
it was. It was pretty sick.
You got all the case hits in that.
Yeah. But that's what I really go to when it comes to like downtown questions or luminance moments. Like those were another one like that you kind of put me onto. And then the night moves too is another sneaky one.
Yeah, those are nice cards too.
I mean, that was my biggest flip of my, card history career. So the night moves, nobody even knew what it was. I couldn't literally give the freaking Tom Brady one away when he was in the Super Bowl on Super Bowl weekend. I mean, people wouldn't even take it. I mean, lucky for me though, I didn't, because I waited until he won and then I put it up on eBay, and I paid $400 for that card, and I ended up selling it on an eBay auction for $9,150.
Nice.
That's fucking
Yeah.
nice.
That's a nice
game.
flip.
But and nobody would even buy it from me for $2,500 at like
Yeah.
5 different shows I went to.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
crazy how sometimes you can list a card, try and sell it, for weeks after weeks, and nobody will bid anything like that, and then just one random day it'll go for more than you thought it would go for.
And that's what I get into, like with some like people where you're negotiating with like vendors, or like a vendor wants to buy a card off you. I'm like, dude, like just at the auctions, like who's interested in that card at that like that moment in time?
Yeah.
Like you might have someone like a week later that's interested in that card that's willing to shell out double what like it sold for. It just matters who's interested in that card at that point in time, or who didn't know about that card, who knows about it now. Like it's just crazy to me. Like a card's worth like what someone's willing to pay for. Just like anything else in life, you can sell anything in life.
Yeah.
And you own the card, you can put whatever price tag you want on it, and someone might be willing to pay. If you put a 5,000 price tag on it, but everything's selling around 2,500, someone might pay 3,500, $4,000 because they want it. Like,
yeah,
it's just. But going back to what you said about like bad investments and things like that, is like you have stuff in your PC and you buy stuff in your PC, but you probably still have, even if you're short on money or ever got tight, you probably have something in your PC was like your get out of jail free card,
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll show you one right now if you want me to.
Perfect.
I mean, literally, I've got 2 of them, and this goes to tickets. Like this year might get buried with me, but this is the ticket where Tom Brady replaced Drew Bledsoe when Drew Bledsoe got hurt. Like this is the like.
Oh no shit.
This ticket is the birth of Tom Brady. You know what I mean? I mean, is it $1 million ticket right now? No. I think they probably like there's only a PSA 1. That's also something interesting. We can get into that in a little bit if you want. But people see PSA 1 and they're like, oh, people from the card game are like, I don't want to touch that at all.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't realize like there's only like 18 of these graded total. A PSA 1 is still a phenomenal thing to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this
I mean, you're not gonna find very many tickets, in great condition anyway. Just from they folded it up at the game or something. When they went to the game,
what it is.
In their pockets, stuff like
or
that.
Or full tickets too. Like a lot of shit you see is stubs because people used them at the game. So
yeah. Well, mentioning folded, that's like a good piece of advice for anybody. If a ticket is folded, which this one is, you can see it right across the middle.
Right.
This one right here is as well. That's raw. Like if it's if it has a crease, you're gonna get a PSA 1.
Yeah.
So just is something to know, but it doesn't matter. Like these cards are still, tickets are still worth a good amount. But that's
did you buy that one graded, or did you get it graded yourself?
I bought both of them the way they are right now. So I bought one graded and I bought the other one raw. And I'll tell you guys, I bought them both for $1,000, and they're each
10 now,
each.
Right?
And no, they're not. They're worth like before he retired. The raw one is worth about 2, and the graded one was worth about like 3,500. So I mean,
doubled. No,
I don't know, because nobody that has them wants to sell them right now, because the ticket market's been going up, and this has got to be one of the more desirable tickets, so people are waiting.
I was actually looking at one of those. I think it was in the ones. I want to say I thought I saw one listed, maybe like they're rare, but it was like around the 10 mark, but I don't see it anymore. Like that's where I got the 10.
Their listings.
Yeah, and I mean honestly too, like back here, I'm gonna say you're kind of one of the ones that when you told me you're going to tickets, I bought one.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Super Bowl one against the Eagles. Brady won, and then I was like, "You're like, I'm kind of fully transitioning to tickets." I think I saw you at the Tampa Card Show, and I was like, you know what? Like, I should probably hedge, diversify a little bit as well and get more. So these are all pretty much Tom Brady Super Bowl tickets, and then there's is that Deflategate? Yeah, the Deflategate one.
Yep,
and then,
I remember you're gonna get that.
Yep, and then one of he broke Blanda's like milestone for touchdown passes and shit.
You speaking of that ticket, the birth of Brady, replacing Bledsoe, that makes me want to get a ticket because I'm a huge Tony Romo fan, and it kind of, bugs with that, with the replacement of Drew Bledsoe, because Romo replaced Bledsoe on Thanksgiving, so
what ticket
that makes me want to go find that ticket now,
Yeah.
You know what I want to get for you? I'll give it for Christmas is the one where he bobbled the fucking snap in the playoff game against Seattle.
Hey man, that's still a memorable.
That's what I'm saying.
to me, that's the cool thing about tickets too, because like with cards, a lot of people think like they go straight to a rookie card as the card to get, but in tickets, sometimes having a milestone card or a moment card, ticket to that game,
like a debut ticket, stuff like that. Yeah,
like this is not his first debut game technically. Like he had a debut game in the NFL that was against the Lions. That was before this. But to me, if you ask me, like this card, in my opinion, is more meaningful than that because I keep saying card. This ticket is more meaningful in my opinion than that because this is when he really
took over. Yeah. And then
that was the start of his career right there, you know,
as coinciding with his documentary that's out now too. Like when they go through that, like that's, I mean, I think that's kind of, I don't think it's hit like as hard as Jordan's did when that documentary came out because like you were in the middle of COVID, there's nothing else to do, so people were just shopping. But you still see a spike with that Man in the Arena that's coming out for all this stuff.
I still haven't even watched that. Yeah, I still got to watch it.
Yeah, it's great, dude. I think the last episode should be coming out anytime now.
And the other thing about it is with tickets, like you're only going to see one of these pop up every like blue moon. If you go and research Tom Brady rookie cards, you're going to find 1,000 of them on eBay. You know what I mean? So like that's the other thing is like you got to. One thing I've learned with tickets is you got to trust your gut because you might have to overpay for something because you're not going to see it again. You know what I mean? And trust that it's going to go up. And you know what? Talking about the debut, if you literally Google Tom Brady debut game, it brings up this game, not his game against the Lions. Like this is what comes up. So, anyways, and it's funny.
I mean, it's sick just to have like for me, like holding tickets, like you're holding a part of history, you know. And it's you're like anything, like it's like you can't replay that, and like now that you have like part of history in your hands, and it's always going to be worth something to somebody. Like even if it's not even sports.
To me, it kind of gives you the feel like, you know, game used memorabilia and stuff. You know, that was actually at the game, you know, used there, you know, whether it's by fans or whatnot. But, you know, just like game used memorabilia, you know, that piece was in the actual game. So part of history, stuff like that. So
I think that's going to be another pop really too. Cool. I think that the stuff right now, game used stuff, especially on Brady stuff, like is just gone through the roof lately. Like game use, like player worn, not really, but like the game use stuff has probably doubled.
Yeah, and it's cool too. Speaking about history, because on the slab, for those people that are listening that don't know, like it says on the slab the meaning of that ticket. So it literally says Drew Bledsoe injured, Tom Brady, you know, replaces him. Like
now, do you have to? I've never submitted a ticket. Like I have one here that I need to. But my question to you is, when you submit a ticket, do you just submit it and then they research what goes on it, or do you actually have to put what happened in that game and then they copy it?
So most likely, if you're submitting a ticket, somebody's probably done it before. So when you start doing it, it'll automatically give you preset options of what will be put on the slab. But like, let's say that it was multiple players' debut games, and you want the slab to say it was the other player's debut game. Then, like, let's say that it was, I don't know, like I'm trying to think of two players that started at the same time. But regardless, like let's say one of them was popular, so everybody's always put player A.
Dak and Zeke started together, you know.
Exactly. So maybe everybody. And by the way, some slabs will say, you know, Dak and Zeke debut, but some might just say Ezekiel Elliott debut, right? And let's say that you wanted yours to say Dak's debut. Like you can put in like the details on the slab that's what you want. Now that doesn't mean they're gonna put it. They will still do their research, and if it is accurate information, they'll add it.
Okay.
Okay, that's cool.
Does it cost the same to get them graded, or is it a different cost for it?
What was that?
Is the cost the same, like to get for cards and tickets, or is it a different price because of slab size and stuff like that? Or?
You know, it's funny. The slabs are bigger, so it should cost them more. And I guarantee you, the whole process of them doing tickets has to be more tedious than a card. Personally, I would think, because there's more creases, there's different edges, stuff like that. But no, it's actually that's part of what got me into tickets as well. Is it's only $50 per ticket to grade.
Oh, really?
And the turnaround time is less than 2 months. Nice. Whereas if you do express, which you'll get it in less than a month typically back, it's only $100.
Yeah.
So question for you.
Price is way better. Yep.
So for this one, this is the Tom Brady's first Super Bowl. right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, do these tickets compare and different? This is where he passes on a career touchdown list. Like this is more of a generic. He doesn't have artwork on it. Is there a difference? Like more desirable, more not? Like obviously, I imagine like something with a photo on it, like the one that you show for Tom Brady for the Tuck Rule game has a photo on it. Like, but I imagine there's these for like the upper deck or whatever, where people are just getting this. Is there? How's that work?
It's a supply and demand thing. First off, there's typically 3 different variations of every type of ticket. Typically, there's going to be the Ticketmaster version, which is the one that you would get like sent to you from Ticketmaster.
Right.
Yeah.
Which they don't really do anymore. That's one of the interesting things about tickets, which we haven't even talked about. Is part of why I like tickets is because they don't even have them anymore. We use our phone, and that makes them that much more rare, in my opinion, and that much more historical. But anyways, Ticketmaster version is one of the versions, which is the ones that they used to mail to you or that you used to have to go and pick up that were purchased through Ticketmaster. That one that I think you just showed, I think was a Ticketmaster.
Yeah, it was a Ticketmaster.
It says Ticketmaster on it. And on the slab, a lot of time they'll put like TKMSTR, like so you know it's the Ticketmaster version. The second version is going to be a box office version, as if you bought it from the stadium. Typically, that one's pretty cool, and a lot of people see that one as more desirable because it's like the most like authentic version of a ticket. Like you bought it at the stadium from the stadium. Yeah. It typically has like the watermark of the team on it. A lot of people really like that version of a ticket, especially if it's a full one without being ripped off as a stub. And then the third version is typically a season ticket version, which is what the season ticket holders get, which it's like on the fence. Like sometimes those are more valuable. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're not as valuable because sometimes they're more common because season ticket holders don't throw theirs away as often. So, but like this is like a season ticket version, as you can see, like they didn't do this at the box office, and this clearly isn't Ticketmaster. But part of the reason why this one is more valuable and I think it's cool is because it actually has Drew Bledsoe on the ticket.
Yeah, see, I was just about to ask a question about that too. I don't know if you would know, price differences or anything like that, but kind of going how he went, the variations, the value in them. What about like say Tom Brady debut game and it had a picture of, Robert Edwards on the, ticket. Right. Does that kind of devalue the moment of the debut or anything like that? If that makes sense what I'm saying, how it has a picture of somebody else, but it's a moment.
It doesn't. I mean, it's funny because like some of the debut games are even away games. So sometimes you even have an away player on the ticket. And sometimes it's even like a rival. And people are like, and I've had people say like, oh, well, do you think because a lot of what tickets I've realized is it goes to the final collector. Whereas with cards, a lot of times people are buying it just to flip it to somebody else.
Right.
You know what I mean? So a lot of people think like, well, that final collector want to display something of a rival team or of a different team on it. And I haven't noticed it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like when it is the home team and when it does have, maybe a more significant player on it, I think it makes it that much more desirable. But I don't think that it scares people away. I don't think it devalues, like you said. I think it just kind of is neutral whenever it has somebody else. But like this is like an interesting one. Like this is Kobe Bryant's Achilles game here. And like clearly not Kobe Bryant on the ticket. You know what I mean? But very memorable game. And this is a hard one to get my hands on. This is a pretty high grade too. An 8 for a ticket is like an 11 for a card.
I was gonna say like anything Kobe. I mean, it has to be right up in that upper echelon, like the Brady stuff or the MJ stuff. Like, I mean, because like it probably Jordan stuff too. I mean, I imagine that's still through the roof.
Yeah, it just depends on how rare it is. Like, and I've told you this before, man. Like you collect those Super Bowl tickets because you're a Tom Brady fan. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like me, I collect very little Super Bowl tickets.
Yeah.
And the reason why is to me, Super Bowl tickets are so less rare. Like they're so much more common because anybody who goes to Super Bowl keeps their ticket.
Yeah.
So like finding a Super Bowl ticket is actually not hard. Now, do Super Bowl tickets still have value? Absolutely, because the fans of those teams, that's the first thing they think about is, oh, I want the Super Bowl ticket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then some like with the Tom Brady debut, a lot of those people that were at the game, hell, they probably didn't think Tom Brady was going to be Tom Brady, so they didn't, they didn't keep those tickets stashed away and all that. So
I mean, how many games have we been to that we threw a ticket away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like me I was at a Cowboys game, and it was not that, that would be something, super valuable right now. But when DeMarco Murray broke, the single, like 6 weeks straight of the rushing record, I was at that game, and I didn't think of keeping the tickets. I'll keep them for a little while, but I don't,
Right.
I never thought of keeping them for, value, keepsakes, anything like that. So
I've had to go buy.
I think I threw them away.
I've had to go back and buy tickets now to games that I went to because I wanted the ticket.
Yeah. Well, question for it. Even if you're looking on eBay or wherever and you see them with like a bang corner or a crease, do you still would, if it's, say, for example, like Deflategate or something, you would still pick that up? Yeah.
This thing is toward the dog shit. You know what I mean? Like, when I saw this, it wasn't even a question in my mind. It was, how much money do you want for that? And as long as it was reasonable, I was going to pay it. Because to me, like, first off, like, I wanted to make sure I had one to keep in my PC. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now that I have two, if it does become worth a lot of money, maybe I might be a little bit more willing to move it.
So did they even with that bad a condition, did they just slap a 1 on it, or did they just give it like a grade?
No, they'll put a 1. And by the way, like, you can just grade it authentic instead if you don't want to grade. To me, I think it's kind of cool just to put the grade on there, even if it's a 1. I mean, people clearly can see that it's creased. You know what I mean? And I mean, the corners are dinged up. I mean, there's a lot wrong with the ticket. But
but I mean, you look at some of the most valuable cards in the history, and they're creased. They're from like the tobacco cards. I mean, people pay ass loads of money for those, and they're beat to hell.
100%. I think I have 100%. Like those old vintage cards, like having a bad grade on those is normal. You know what I mean? Like it's expected. I mean, like, here's 2 different ones. It's the same ticket, just one is graded authentic. I don't know if you can really see it. One's graded authentic, and the other is graded a 9. This is LeBron's first. It's not his first ring, but it's the Game 7.
The comeback
for the Cavs to win the final, and the 9 goes for about $1,000, and the authentic goes for about $500. But if you look at these with the naked eye, it's funny because the tickets look almost the same condition. You know what I mean? So, but I got the authentic one I got it in a bundle deal, and he added the authentic one for much cheaper. So I was like, sure. You know what I mean? Like, I could resub it if I wanted to. Maybe I would get a 9 and get more value, but I just haven't done it yet.
Yeah. So how much is it to sub a ticket? PSA.
So it's $50 for the standard service. It used to be $25, but the $25 service was like a year to get it back. They cut that off. And it's $50 for standard now, which is quick. It's only about 2 months. And then it's $100 for the express, which is about probably about a month or less.
Yeah. That's not bad to get tickets graded.
No. And people are saying that it'll, just like cards have done, like they're gonna start opening up the more bulk services on tickets again still, and maybe it'll be a quicker turnaround time, probably around $25, but we'll see.
Do you know if is PSA the only one that grades tickets, or
grading wise, it's the only one I've seen grade. Beckett will authenticate a ticket and put it in a slab. To me, like, you think that these slabs are big. I mean, you guys have seen some of those. You guys have seen some of those Beckett slabs. I mean,
look at this.
Like bricks.
They also don't, unless I'm wrong, I haven't seen any Beckett slab.
This fucker, dude. This is so this is a PSA, but it's a wider ticket, and it's the Florida Gators national championship against Oklahoma, and it's signed by Urban Meyer.
I've got a cool Gator one coming back to you. You're a Gator fan?
Yeah. But this thing is, I got this in the mail. I'm like, what? I didn't order a fucking box, like nothing. And then I get this out, and it's like,
I've got coming back from PSA. I've got Tim Tebow's last game with the Gators, and it's signed by Tim Tebow, and it says and he inscribed it with last game.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Are you trying to sell that to me, or something?
I'm a buyer. I'm a buyer.
You trying to get you don't even before he gets back.
The funny thing is, I don't even like Tim Tebow. It was just a cool ticket to me, so you could definitely be a buyer for that.
I'm definitely gonna be a buyer of that.
What I was gonna say though is with Beckett, the other thing is, Beckett's a great grading company when it comes to cards. For tickets though, not only are the slabs so big and bulky, but the other thing I really don't like is they don't put the meaning, like they don't put the description of what the ticket represents.
They just grade it.
It literally just it doesn't even have a grade.
They just authenticate
they
it.
just authenticate it from what I've seen. I could be wrong. I've never seen a graded one or anything.
I mean, I think the meaning is what like has it. I mean, for a bunch of these tickets, unless you know this shit off the top of your head, like you know, I think that just PSA even putting the descriptions of what happened. I mean, it's just dummy proof, you know.
Yeah, because I mean, you could show that debut card to anybody, Tom Brady's debut card, and if they don't know, the date or the game, they ain't gonna know what the hell that ticket's for.
And I can give a couple pieces of advice if you really want to like.
Oh, for sure.
Put that out to your listeners. Like, keep your eye out for things that are not true tickets. And I don't mean they're fake. Like, they're actually printed tickets by the team. But what happens is if they don't have like a seat, a row, and a section number in there, a lot of times what that is it's a proof. It's not an actual ticket. And anybody who like once this whole like market starts becoming more popular and people start doing a little bit more education on it, you'll realize people don't want people will not want those because it wasn't even really part of history. You know what I mean?
Then I feel like those could be easily fake too.
They could, but
no seat numbers and stuff.
I haven't seen a lot of fake tickets, but I'm sure they're if they get more popular, I'm sure they'll be out there.
Yeah.
Right?
But you've seen it with the Bucks Chiefs Super Bowl last year. Like a lot of that's like pretty much went digital. You'll rarely see any real tickets. They give you like a commemorative ticket or something where it has like the logos and the teams, but it doesn't have anything on it.
A big one was when Curry broke the 3-point record recently this year. People were going crazy trying to make fake tickets of that. There's no real tickets of that game. I haven't seen one.
Everything's digital now, man. It's dead. Like that's why I think like cards and like tickets and stuff like that is like you're owning a piece of history because that's fading out. I don't think cards will, especially with Fanatics, but you're seeing like digital cards, which I know, and I want your opinion on this shit. But everybody talking about digital cards, like, oh, you got a LeBron James auto. I'm like a digital. I'm like, who gives a fuck? That's like me printing off his auto. Like, so I don't know what you're.
And to add to that, I was gonna say with how you said tickets are all going digital now.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna have the actual piece of the ticket, ticket stub, whatnot. So that kind of brings me into where you're talking about the NFT collections. Like, how is a digital ticket not any different than a damn NFT? You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's what they all feel like. It's worthless to me. I don't see the point in, the value in any of that.
They essentially are. And I mean, all I'll say on it is, look, if there's no tickets and that's the only way of keeping a piece of the history and that becomes more normal, like I could see it being something that people would want. You know what I mean? Now, do I want it? Not right now, but am I going to look back and be like, dang, I'm an idiot. I should have grabbed some of them back then. Maybe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, when it comes to when they have like a digital card with a patch and an autograph, to me, that's weird. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen like Brady's company, the NFT company called Autograph. I'm sure you have. You're a huge Brady guy. Like those players actually do digitally sign. And if you look at card to card, every signature is different. It's not the same. It's not like they just copy and paste a digital signature. Like they literally are signing digitally. Now, does that make it as cool? Still no, not compared to having wet ink on paper.
I still just don't see the value in it.
I'm like, okay, cool, he signed it, but like, fuck yeah, I can never. It's not so stocks. You said the same thing, like I've said on this for a while, is that I love stocks, but sports cards are my way of actually holding something tangible. Right? I own a stock, but I can't physically touch it. I mean, I own Apple, and I have like that's. But for example, like cards are like. I own a tangible stock of Brady. As long as Brady doesn't go out and just fucking beat the shit out of his wife or kill somebody, like I'm pretty safe bet with that,
Right. And it's funny that that's part of why I like tickets so much is because like, dude, if stocks tank and it hits zero, you walk away with nothing. But at least if my tickets tank and go to zero, like I've got some cool piece of history that I can show off in a man cave. You know what I mean? It's like at least I have something.
Not even that, like too, like even for example, like Mahomes, and I think I saw this on Rothbard's channel last night, but he bought when he was in LA, like Stafford and Mahomes because he thought like those were going to be a Super Bowl,
right?
That was going to be Super Bowl. Obviously, Cincinnati won, and he bought a couple Mahomes for say $3,000, but he sold a couple of them, like maybe $5,000 and 3 cars or something for $5,000. But he sold them. He's like, I only lost $200 out of that, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is like stocks, like you fucking walking away, you might have nothing. Well, at least with this, I could probably find a seller or another collector.
Yep.
Because if a stock goes to zero, I'm not going to be able to sell that to anybody.
There's two sides to it. There's the collector.
Yeah.
Nobody collects stocks.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a collector for cards, and then there's the investors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the cards, it's cool because you have that second piece, which is the collector. Whereas with stocks, you're only buying a stock because you're trying to make some money on it in the long run, and you support that company, right?
Yep.
You're an investor.
Yep.
So you do have another.
Yeah, because even in cards, you can have some of the shittiest cards, but there's
100%.
somebody that's a fan of, Oklahoma that wants the, NFL version of that one player that, went, and you can't find it anywhere. So there's always going to be someone that wants, something of that.
One of my biggest pieces of advice is if you're ever setting up at a show, have one of those $1 or $2 boxes that you think are all garbage cards, because that'll pay for your table, man. Because I can't tell you, every show I've set up at, I always have one of those, and I easily make a couple $100 on it because it's cards that I think are worthless. But you always get those collectors that are going to come by and they want every version of,
Are you setting up any shows soon?
I've really tried with the local shows, man, just because I know everybody. I don't really feel like I have to set up. And sorry to those, hosts out there, because, I'm sure that you guys would rather me be setting up than just walking around. But I'm going to set up at Culture Collision in Atlanta. I am doing that. So that's my.
Are you in Tampa also, or in Florida?
Yeah, I'm in Tampa. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Culture Collision. I was trying to make that, but I might have a dog that weekend where I can't boarding. So I mean, that's the only thing. But it's close enough, and they're trying to make that like the Dallas of the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Even Collectors Con was a great turnout for us on the two. Even I was surprised, even with the Christmas one being so close to holiday, how many people we had coming in for that.
Yeah, I was out of town that week, and I still came to that the last day of it. So I was able to catch the last day, and it was still pretty solid show. I was able to walk around. I made some money. I made a couple buys.
Yeah, but so with your collection now, with cards, are you? Like, who do you PC, or do you still PC stuff, or is that more of a flip to buy tickets? Like, how do you?
The ticket thing it's funny because the ticket thing, like I buy it, I'm like, I only buy stuff I like typically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless it's something like that Tebow thing, like I still like it. Like I think that's a cool piece of history. But like, do I like Tim Tebow? Not really. Sorry. You know what I mean? But
God's gonna hate you, bud.
You know what I mean? And like I know that Tim Tebow, like to me, I still think Tim Tebow was one of the best college football quarterbacks of all time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If not the best. You know what I mean? So like I'm not naive to that, but like is it something that like means a lot to me? No. So like something like that, like sure, it's cool to have, but I'm willing to like sell it. That's what a lot of stuff I have. Like my downtowns, man. Like would I sell those all? Absolutely, I would sell them. But like it's also fun for me to collect. So like it's weird because like my PC, the only thing I have that's a true PC in my opinion is I went to UCF, the college UCF, and I PC some of like their guys, you know what I mean? Like their alumni. And like that's my only true PC. Like I've got a little setup in my office of like some of the cards and memorabilia and stuff.
You guys 2017 national champions, right?
Hey, you know what's funny? I have the tickets and I sent them and I asked for PSA to put it on the slab. I want to see if they do it.
2017 self-proclaimed national champion.
I want them to put it on there just to piss people off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's so funny. Like it makes everybody so heated talking about it. So
well, I used to like my good friend's a Georgia fan, and I was like, dude, UCF won a national championship before you guys did. I just get them pissed off.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to see. I thought I had it right here, but no, I don't have it. I have a few of those tickets though. I actually was trying to get the quarterback from that game. To sign them and put national champs, and then I was gonna send them to PSA. Just like I said, dude, it would get everybody all fired up.
I mean, I think I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to get into like sports and shit that like other people talk about and know better than us, but I mean, just by them, that number one recruit going to like a smaller school, the one that Deion Sanders is at, like, might change the landscape around, man. Like you had even recruits leave Alabama that were key roles in their last season. So I mean, it's who knows what the landscape is.
Yeah, the NIL rules are going to change a ton, man. Just watch, like places like, I mean,
they're basically all free agents, you know.
Yeah, and not to talk bad on like Florida or Alabama, but like think about it, like with the NIL rules in place, like, and you have potential of being sponsored by big companies, like there's not a lot of big corporations in Gainesville and in Alabama. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now the alumni own big
Boosters.
companies.
Yeah.
The boosters will get you there.
Yeah, that's what I
Like,
was gonna say. The boosters can be paying out them players and stuff.
yeah, but if they want that like local sponsorship, like that's harder to get in Gainesville and Alabama. Like I think a lot of players are going to end up going, unfortunately, to California.
Yeah.
You know, to all those schools because there's so many opportunities out there in California with LA and stuff being out there.
Well, I mean, Lincoln Riley went over there because he didn't want to be in the SEC. You know?
It's interesting for sure. I mean,
he's gonna take all those recruits.
Texas schools getting a lot of the recruits too. You know, just because there's so much business down here and transplant companies, everything down here.
Shit. Yeah, a lot of companies moved to Texas, but even same with Florida. Like, I think Texas and Florida are the number 1 and 2 states. I don't know which order for people moving to.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's definitely going to be.
We're getting all the Californians.
Yeah,
I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Y'all may be getting all the people from New York or something.
Fuck yeah, dude. So like anybody down here, I'm like, dude, I fucking left Northeast to get away from you guys. Now you guys are all down here. But no, I mean the ticket standpoint too. Like, I mean, just like your standpoint on them, and I've been seeing myself get more involved with them too because, like I said, like I'm a big history guy, and like I feel like I own a part of history.
Yeah.
You know,
I've got a bunch of cool ones, man. I mean, you've seen a lot of what I have.
It's never been something in my wheelhouse, you know, looking at, but more talking with Paul about them and stuff, and now talking with you about them today, you know, that's made me kind of. I'll probably jump on eBay when I get off of here and start looking.
You're gonna realize it's a lot harder.
Dude, literally, I was sitting here. I bought another Deflategate ticket. Like that was the main corner. Like I was like, $100.
I figured you were doing something over there because you look like you're kind of zoned out on the computer there for a second.
Yeah, I was just I had something pop up, but then I was looking at it like it's a historic event that everybody's gonna like. Even for Brady, it's the people that hate him hold it against him.
My mind churning, you know, thinking of shit, you know, of games, you know. That
I mean, here's a cool one. I mean, as a Dallas fan, this one's gonna hurt you, but like, can you guess what game this is without even seeing it?
Is it the Odell catch?
It's the opening of this. Yeah.
It's the Odell catch. Oh,
it is the Odell catch.
Yeah. It's the Odell catch, and it literally says on there the catch. So, like,
one you should get to is the one where the Giants beat on opening night in the Cowboys Stadium there, the opening of their Jerry's World.
Yeah, that'll be funny for a Giants fan. Like, think about it, Giants fan will probably love that ticket, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got a
bunch of the Vince Young National Championship ticket too. That's what was going through my head getting that one too.
This is something to keep in mind too as a tip. So there's things called phantom tickets. What a phantom ticket is a game that was not played, but there was a ticket printed for it. So like, you know, when you get season tickets, how you get tickets all through the playoffs as well, right?
Right.
But they might not make it that far into the playoffs. Well, people will try to sell the tickets to the games that didn't happen. So most phantom tickets are worthless in my opinion. But believe it or not, there are some phantom tickets that are worth money. And I'll show you a couple of examples. Like this here, this is the game that didn't get played because Kobe Bryant died. So this is a phantom ticket. It was this game was never played.
Yeah.
But as you can imagine, like a very collectible piece because of the reason. Another one, this one I had to hunt down. These are my favorite. I got 2 of them. Can you guess what game this is?
COVID game.
Yep.
Is that the COVID game?
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is the game that got canceled when Rudy Gobert got COVID.
Yeah.
So this game never played either. But yeah, and you know what's funny? Fun fact about this one is PSA will not grade this ticket.
Because it didn't happen?
No, they'll grade phantom tickets, but they made a rule that for this NBA season that was played in the bubble because there were so many people that had season tickets for all the games that never were played. They made a rule that they weren't going to grade any of the games from that season that weren't played.
Oh, okay.
But there were like 13 of them that got sent out before they made that rule. So there's like 13 of them that are graded and it literally says coronavirus on the slab.
Oh, shit.
And I'm jealous because you know, to me, that's a moment in history. I mean, not only did basketball season stop, but that's when I feel like the whole
world. Yeah.
So I'm glad I got these ones, and they are phantom tickets still, but you know, those ones have a little bit more history behind them.
Yeah, but even setting up at a show though, I mean, you have cards and stuff, but if you're bringing in like tickets and other stuff at your booth, like you're gonna get more of the attention, right? You know,
I mean, you got so much more stuff to look at, and
And I mean, man, that's always how I've kind of thought is I don't want my booth to look like everybody else's. I mean, that's why I got into the downtowns. My very first show I ever set up at, I didn't put a single card out except for a whole entire display case of downtowns. And like, did I sell a ton that day? No. So those that are listening, they're like, well, then why'd you do it? Like, but what happened was, man, I bought so many downtowns because of that, because I became the guy that people wanted to sell their downtowns to. Because and then when people were ready to buy downtowns, who do you think they came to? The next show that I had was actually one that I sold the most amount of my downtowns I had ever sold, because at that point I'd gotten their attention. They knew who to come to. Con? Yeah.
So, dude, that was the best part is like you didn't even have them out on one of them. Yeah. Like you were like, I'm just holding them in a box, and all of a sudden people started fucking coming up to you, and you're like, all right, I'll sell it.
I sold so many downtowns that day, but it differentiates your booth. I mean, man, you guys have been to card shows. You walk by and you can spot the same card in 9 out of 10 cases. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that to me also, like how you're talking about setting out the tickets and stuff to attract other people there. That's kind of how it is. You see the people with all the autographed memorabilia, stuff like that up on their booths. You kind of gravitate towards because you're like, oh, let's check this shit out, because everybody else just looks the same. It's just cards everywhere, cases, and every now and then you want to be like, hey, let me go look at some of this shit.
Yeah, and honestly, man, from a seller standpoint too, you have a huge advantage, because looking up comps for tickets is way harder than looking up the comps for cards. So like, I know what I paid for my tickets, and very rarely will I lose money, because I know I can price it higher, because if you look it up and you find a comp, it's probably my comp. It's probably my ticket.
Right.
So I could be like, yeah, that's mine. If you want to buy it,
I do that all the time at shows when they're talking about, well, this one just sold for $4. Like, so for example, like the Zion like orange ice that I bought, that's like it's a fucking 9.5. I might resubmit to try to get a 10. Like it'll easily cross over with the subgrades to a 10. And like I was at the show and they're like, well, one just sold for $4.25. I go, yeah, that's mine, and you're not getting it for that. Like unless he like fucking just never comes back or something. But like. Yeah, it's funny. Like people try to negotiate with you. Like, well, one sold for here. Like for example, this is the best one. I was trying to buy some Mac Jones mirror rookies at the Seminole card show.
Yeah,
and he's like, he had an orange mirror, and Bryant from the Tampa Card Shop was there with me. He goes, well, there's 2 of them listed for $450. I go, I'm not a player at that. He goes, so 2 of them literally sold this month for like $70, and he goes. Like 70, like Mac Jones stuff take a hit. Like I've been buying a shit ton of Mac Jones shit right now. But $75. But he goes, oh, one in December sold for like 200. I was like, yeah, that's the fucking December. Like this is the more realistic. And I'm like, I go look before that. There was one for like 100. So I go, but he was trying to fuck me in the like 10 and. But I get it. Like people want to make
the highest comp that they can when they're selling, and they want to find the lowest comp.
His original thing was like, well, 2 are listed for $450. Yeah, he's like 2 are listed for like $400, $450. I'm like, yeah, I'm not buying those though.
I mean, there is some truth behind comps versus what's listed, but you still got to be realistic. Like for instance, like with my downtowns, a lot of people want to pay me. Like a lot of times you go to a card show and you're like, hey, I want to pay 80% of comps, or I want to like because of the eBay fees, you're only going to get 85% anyways, whatever the case is. Well, I tell people like, hey, look, like I get what you're saying. But if I wanted to replace, like, for instance, I'll just show you guys one of my downtowns. Like, this is the Stafford one. This is a 2018 Stafford. This is the first year downtowns came out.
Yeah.
Like, and it's Donruss, not Optic. And Donruss in this year is actually more rare because Donruss came out before Optic. So he didn't have an Optic version. He only had a Donruss version. So there's a very hard to replace one. There was actually just one on eBay that just sold last night. But outside of that, like, there's only one other one listed on eBay total right now. And it's listed for like $500, and the one that sold last night sold for $250. So I'm not going to sell mine for under $250. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, am I going to sell it for $500? No. You know what I mean? But like, if
somewhere in the middle, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
A lot of times on the comps though, you got the comps are hard whenever you're trying to have people say, hey, I'm going to pay 80% of comps or whatnot, because a lot of people that sell stuff on eBay or something, they take a big loss on it because they're just trying to get rid of it. They're just trying to make some money,
Right.
So
it's a business.
So they only paid $30 for a pack and happen to hit that downtown of it. They turn around and sell it, and they're like, oh, hey, I made $200, So you have people like that are just getting rid of shit. So kind of like dollar boxes, how you say you just go grab them and To you, they're worthless, so you're just selling them for $1 a card, and then somebody else can turn around and sell it for double that because that's what it's actually worth. But
you're making something back. 100%.
And too, like the kabooms and the downtowns, they're pretty fucking liquid. Like you're gonna move those pretty fast. And going back to that Seminole show, I traded for my gold reserve Tom Brady rookie in SUC9. I did cash, and then he threw this in on top of it. So I know you'll love this. The Mac Jones.
Oh yeah.
The rookie downtown.
I love that one.
Bitch, but
I'll tell you right now, piece of advice: if you have any downtowns, wait for Optic to come out, sell it in that first 2 weeks. That if you want to make some money, sell it. Sell your downtowns. Like for me, like I'm debating if I even want to, like when I go to Atlanta for Culture Collision, like I don't know if I want to sell any of my downtowns. I want to sell my downtowns when Optic comes out because that's when they're going to be the hottest. Because that's when people are going to start hitting the new downtowns.
So, question for you: with the two of them, I think they need to eliminate one of them.
Between what, downtowns and kabooms?
Well, no, the downtown, like the downrock and the Optic. Like I feel like they would make it more rare and more enticing if they just kind of combined them.
Well, what I really don't like is how they look. I don't own a single one of the 2021 downtowns because I thought the list was garbage. I thought that they were really lazy with it. Now, don't get me wrong. Like the rookies, like Mac and the rookies, cool. They're all new players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you look at that list, outside of the rookies, which if I remember right, I think they only had 7 rookies that they did downtowns for, which is low. It's not a lot.
Yeah, it was it was Wilson had one, Mac had one.
Fields. I mean, most of the
Brady had 2, didn't he? Brady had didn't he have 2?
Did
or am I combining years? I might be combining it.
He's had 2 in prior years. Like last year, he had 2. Last year he had 2. He had the Bucs uniform one, and then he also had the New England Super Bowl edition one because there was like a subset of Super Bowl ones.
Yeah.
But I don't like how they use all the same players for like the same artwork and then just make it like a parallel. It's not even, it wasn't even a parallel last year.
Yeah.
At least in years prior. I don't know if I have multiple, like, let me see.
I actually just sold my Cam Newton one, the Patriots one from last year.
So like at least here's another interesting one. This actually just sold on eBay last night too. This is 2018 as well, and that's Odell in his Giants uniform, which a lot of people haven't seen this one. They've only seen the Browns one because he has a Browns one in 2019. Yeah. This actually sold last night for like $375. So I was pretty happy with that.
I mean, you're hitting too because these people are in the Super Bowl and they might get a ring, which kind of brings their value up a little more.
100%. So like if I were to sell now, it's probably the time to do it. But for me, like that I collect these things, so I don't care as much. Now this is Donruss. This is Optic, and a lot of people see this and they see the lasers and they're like, "Oh, that must be a short print parallel." Like, no, all of the Optics had the laser.
That's just the way they look.
This is how they were. Exactly. Gotcha. So they tried to trick people by just making the cards look different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to me, I would rather have the Donruss versions because I know that they're more rare because it's the original set of downtowns.
Can you hold those two up again?
Yeah. So
they know what you're talking about.
So there's the laser. That's Russell Wilson, 2018 downtown. And then there's regular. I mean, it's just a normal,
For me, I don't like too much going on. Like I don't want stuff to stand away from the artwork, and I think like the laser shit kind of takes away a little bit from it.
Yeah, I actually like the hyper look more. Like this is the 2019 optics, which the 2000.
Yeah, that one looks nice.
Like I like this more. The hyper. And that's Alvin Kamara, which I was actually pissed that so that's why I don't like is like in the new 2021 set, they put another Alvin Kamara. I'm like, dude, he already has one, man. Like there's so many other players that you could be adding to these sets.
Yeah.
Why are you putting another Alvin Kamara?
They just keep putting in the same players.
Dude, they have like 4 Saquon Barkley, and no disrespect, but like, dude, he doesn't deserve 4 downtowns.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I like Saquon, but it's like, come on, man. Like you're
it's kind of like a McCaffrey never on the field, so it never seems
what's
to be
the one this
value.
year they actually made their first downtown of? I know we were talking about it.
DK Metcalf.
That's what it was.
Like that's cool to me. Like add new players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Add new players. Like the fact that like how does Aaron Donald not have one?
Right.
Yeah.
You're making a 4th or 5th one of Saquon Barkley. It's like, come on, man. Like you have so many guys.
Defensive players. Let's get a Trayvon Diggs, Khalil Mack, or something.
They have a Khalil Mack in 2019.
Do they?
Yeah.
But like, I mean, even like a Parsons rookie one, like,
that's what I'm saying.
Like this year for Optic. What was that?
I said, do they have a Parsons downtown?
No, they do not.
No.
See, I would definitely want one of them if they had.
Well, I mean, Deion Sanders has a nice one. I think I saw the Kaboom the other day.
Oh, Kaboom! I was gonna say because he doesn't have a downtown, but like that's the point. Like, how does Deion Sanders not have a freaking downtown?
Yeah.
How does Calvin Johnson not have a downtown?
Yeah, the Megatron.
How does Devontae Adams not have a downtown? How does Mike Evans not have a downtown? But then you're making a fourth one.
I try to pick up as much Devontae Adams stuff as I can. Just
it's crazy to me.
I think this stuff will be, worth a lot too.
Yeah, I mean that's the same thing too. Is that like with Gronk, like being for the Pats PC or whatever, like, but he's always tied to Brady. So Devontae Adams is always going to be tied to Rodgers.
Yeah,
So I mean, I feel like it's pretty safe. I think Rodgers still needs to win another ring.
Yep.
But who knows? He might be here in Tampa, man. Like
I think Rodgers and Adams are going to go to Denver.
Yeah, well, I think that's the sensible because they got the offensive coordinator there from Green Bay. But who knows, man? I mean, Elway, he does like his veteran quarterbacks, So I think it's the most sensible.
You add Devontae Adams with Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton over there.
That and Aaron Rodgers and his free spirit nowadays. He's high as fuck as he wants.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Rodgers is going either Denver or San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only reason why I don't think he'll go to San Francisco is because I don't think he wants to live in California with the way they.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think of Florida or something like that where they're not like, no, I don't want to bring politics in the list, but like you can see these fully against, like.
Of course,
they go down to Houston.
Yeah.
They need a quarterback and a receiver down there.
Yeah, I think Houston's
I think Houston might want Mills, man. I think they might try to roll with Mills. He was good.
Maybe. Hey, I like Mills. He ain't too bad.
But even Tyrod Taylor isn't bad either. I mean, but Mills is, if he's going to be your rookie, like build around him. Give him a year or two.
And you get lucky with a quarterback like how he started playing when you probably weren't expecting it.
Yeah,
I think you see how that goes, man. I mean,
but that's a problem in the NFL is everybody wants that instant because everybody got the Patrick Mahomes effect, right? Like the first year he started, I think,
and now the Joe Burrow effect.
Yeah, now Joe Burrow. Like, so it's like second year, like these guys are winning our Super Bowl contenders. Yeah. Mahomes won one, but like that's what I'm saying. Like even Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, like all those, like I give them 3 years. Like you have to see what they can do. First year is learning experience. Second year, you want to see that step. And third year is like, okay, you fucking had two. Third year is the one you had to separate yourself. So, but now, like right now, it's like everything's so instant with NFL. Like they either like after year 2 or year 1.5, like they're like, okay, the coach needs to fucking go, or the quarterback, you need a new quarterback. Like there's not.
Yeah. I think you need to keep both of them. For 2 to 3 years, to see what they can do.
I think 3 years is safe.
And the quarterback, because like Trevor Lawrence, I mean, people think he's garbage, which he may be. I'm not saying he's not, but
when your coach is finger blasting assholes in the bar and not helping you out, right?
And then you got to give him a shot at actually working with somebody for longer than a year. I mean, they're rookies. They just completely left a system that they played in for 3-4 years and.
Right.
And then they're trying to, jump in from the get-go in the NFL. And most quarterbacks aren't going to just come out and light it up.
I thought Dabo Swinney might have been like a name under the radar no one talked about for Jacksonville because he coached, him.
Yeah.
Throughout. So I thought, and even ETN, the running back that got hurt, like you have some history there. I thought maybe but apparently he's glued to Clemson.
They're hiring Doug Peterson, I believe.
Yeah, they are. Yep. So, I think Trevor Lawrence is good, man. I think that team was just a train wreck.
It's trash. Like I mean, you have like one decent. It's like New England. Like you have like one decent wide receiver. Like I mean,
he made a lot of mistakes. I'm not gonna lie. Like he made a lot of mistakes. Yeah. But I think that when you're playing from behind every game because their defense also wasn't good. Like
be ballsy.
Yeah, and Urban traded away their best defensive player.
Yeah, I think you start forcing a lot of things, and I think he was forcing a lot, man.
Yeah.
I also now that we hear about teams trying to lose on purpose, who knows, man?
With the whole Brian Flores stuff.
Yeah. You never know, man. They may have told Trevor Lawrence, "We don't want you to be good this year. Like we want to win games that way we get the first overall pick."
Yeah. True. I mean,
it's sad to even hear that kind of stuff, but it could be happening.
Well, they should make the rule like how hockey did. hockey did say pretty much you can't
the
get back to
NBA
back
made a rule too about tanking and all that shit because that was big in the NBA was tanking, so they get in the lottery and all that.
Well, after the Rangers got the Capo Caco as the second pick, and then the next year in the lottery got the first pick with Alexis Lafreniere, they made a rule saying like you can't get the fucking like a top 5 pick. So
yeah,
I mean maybe that is the way you have to go, so you're not chasing draft, tanking. Or just like if your season goes to shit, you're just not tanking. Maybe 1 year, but the second year, like you can't do that.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
I mean it's good. So who do you got for a Super Bowl?
I've got Rams.
Yeah.
I'll be happy either way.
Yeah.
I'm a Bucks fan, and I thought the Rams were going to beat us.
Yeah.
I mean, we were a little banged. Like we had 2 of our best wide receivers out. No Worth. I honestly wasn't surprised that we lost that game. And I think that at the end of the day, both the teams are very good, and it would be cool to see Joe Burrow win. Don't get me wrong, I like Joe Burrow, but I think the Rams, from a defensive standpoint, they've got some like top 5 guys at their position.
Yeah, Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald.
Yeah, and then you also have on the offensive side. I think Stafford is.
I'm rooting for Stafford. He's a Dallas boy, so I'm rooting for him.
He's so underrated, man. Yeah. He's so underrated. He is so good.
And it's crazy when he was in Detroit, all those wasted years in Detroit, and they couldn't do anything with him. And then 1 year in LA, he's in the Super Bowl.
Well, I think if anybody deserves a ring, it's him, man, for all those years in Detroit. So I'd be happy either way. I think the Rams are going to win as well. I'm not really pulling for the Rams. I'd like to see Burrow get it, but I think Aaron Donald, Von Miller, and who's the linebacker there? I always forget his name.
I know. I was going to say his name too. It's on the tip of my tongue. He's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So you had those 3. I think, and that fucking how terrible that Bengals offensive line is. He's gonna be running for his life. I feel like a lot.
That's what I said. I told my buddies that Cincinnati offensive line.
Yeah.
Is a liability, man.
Yeah.
Burrow can make plays. But you know what? So could Patrick Mahomes, and we saw what happened in the Super Bowl last year when Mahomes was running for his life the entire Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like that's what's going to be happen with Burrow is that Aaron Donald's going to take a double team, and he still can fight through them. And then
the difference is though, Cincinnati has 4 legitimate pass catchers in their 3 top wide receivers, and then Mixon is a great wide receiver. Back.
Yeah.
So they have 4, legitimate receivers, whereas with the Chiefs last year, man, I mean, you really only had Hill, which don't get me wrong, he's a monster, and you have Kelsey, and then outside of that, you have a bunch of,
Oh, they're definitely gonna have to get the ball out of his hand quick.
I think they're gonna be doing a lot of dinking and dunking with Mixon and Jamar Chase and stuff with wide receiver screens and shit like that.
Yeah, they're gonna have to slow down that pass rush, for them to have a shot. But I mean, it's too. I mean, Ramsey doesn't scare me like how he does. This year, I mean, even against Mike Evans tore him up. Don't get me wrong. Mike Evans probably my favorite wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
But even in the last game, in the NFC Championship, they're throwing Ramsey's way. He was dropping picks that a couple of years ago he was easily getting. So
Mike Evans, and Jamar Chase are probably similar build, I would imagine. I could be wrong on that, but I feel like they probably are. So I mean, he could.
I think Chase is a little faster, but Mike Evans is a big physical guy too.
Yeah. I think Mike Evans is a little bit bigger physical.
He flies under the radar.
He's bigger, but Chase plays super physical. You know what I mean? So it could be a fun matchup to see for sure.
He flies under the radar, Evans, man. I collect PC some of his stuff just because it's so dirt cheap, man.
I sold a certified autograph of him for around $200. PSA 9, numbered out of 25, not too long ago on eBay. I got another one, his turkey red rookie auto.
Yeah,
I got that one. It's a 8.5, I believe. So
nice.
Well, I mean, for a wide receiver that's put up the numbers that he did with the shitty quarterbacks and still 8 years with 1,000 yards receiving, coming out. I mean, the fucking guy doesn't get the respect he deserves. But he will never come out and say it because he's such a humble guy too. He'll never come out and say
it. His value in the hobby and stuff kind of reminds me of Anquan Bolden. I thought Anquan Bolden was one of the best receivers there was in the game for a while, and his cards were never, that much, and
you gotta be more than just
he was a physical badass receiver, over 1,000 yards every year.
Yep.
He just never got very much love.
You got to be more than just a good player, man. I mean, look at even like Kawhi Leonard versus a lot of the other studs in basketball. Like, you got to also have like the Hollywood side of it. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta. It's funny because if you're not in,
because I can't sell any Kawhi Leonard shit. I have some of his greatest stuff, and I can't sell it, and I got it listed pretty cheap too. You know,
and it's crazy because man, I mean, if you really peel back the onion, the guy's possibly like a top 5 player in the league when he's healthy. You know what I mean? But it's just that he's not exciting to people. Like his game is exciting. Even his game isn't really that exciting. He's not flashy. You know what I mean? He's just very good at everything he does. So, anyways, that's just
you'll need him to get to like the finals for or the conference finals for maybe to unload those.
And that's why the card market also for me, like the tickets are a little bit more fun because I know I'm collecting like a piece of history. Whereas cards, I feel like, man, it's all speculation and hype for everything. Everything. You know what I mean?
Well, I bought some Burrows beginning of the season. Like for dirt cheap, like certified mirrors. I think the Leaf certified mirrors, like the blue, orange, red, all that shit.
Yeah.
Very underrated card. They're always a clean looking card. They're not overdone. Like they're not busy. But like I'm letting those fucking go now. I got them for around $100, 110 graded, like PSA 9s. I think a CSG 9.5 I just sold. Like $100, and then like guy offered me 300 for it. I was like fucking gone. It could be a PSA 10. It's probably a PSA 10, but I'm like, I don't have no attachment to him, and I'm using that money to go buy some Brady shit, So I mean, speculation, like you got to be okay, like you can't be greedy, like because if I'm thinking he's gonna win that and turn down offers, like that's where you get burned. Because like if he loses those cards, I'm gonna be not go all the way down to 100, but I'm not making really anything off of them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree.
So what are you looking to pick up? Do you have like stuff on your watch list?
I mean, I've been bigger on tickets. I mean, I've been trying to complete this the Luminance Moment set. I've got 12 out of the 20 right now in that set, and then from there I'll decide if I want to sell it as a set.
Yeah,
make it as
is that a 1 year set, or do they have?
No, they made it this year too. Last year was the first year. Like this is like an example of one of them. Like this is that's Diggs when he made the catch against the Saints, the Minneapolis Miracle.
Yeah.
So. Like that's what the cards look like. They made it in 2020. I thought they were just badass looking cards.
They're pretty clean,
But Luminance there's only hobby, whereas like Downtowns you can pull it out of retail. So there's a ton of it printed. Luminance is only hobby, and they print way less of it than most other products. So there's way less cases of it, meaning there's way less of the cards. So completing that set has been a mission. But they did make another set of Luminance Moments in 2021 with, all 20 new players. Well, not new players. I mean, there's multiple Bradys and multiple Mahomes. You get what I'm saying.
What's the value look compared to Downtowns and stuff, being that Downtowns are more accessible to people in the moment?
You know what? They're pretty close. The bottom tier players are about anywhere from $100 to $200 typically. Some of the Luminance Moments go a little under 100, but some of the Downtowns do too. Like a Jimmy Garoppolo is going to go under $100 typically. Yeah. But from the higher end, you know what, man? I mean, like, I would still say that Downtowns are more, but some of them are closer than you would think.
Yeah.
Just because of how hard they are to find. Like, if you go on eBay right now and type in Luminance Moments, you'll probably see like 12 total listings.
Oh, yeah, I did that one. I think I was actually seeing them on your Instagram, and it made me want to look them up because I was like, hey, those are some pretty clean cards, I was
very
looking
hard
up one night on eBay, and I was like, man, you can't hardly find any of them on eBay. There was very little listings for them on there.
Yeah,
and I kept thinking, am I typing it in wrong? Am I spelling it wrong?
Nope, you're not. Yeah, I'm not a quitter, but I'm pretty close to giving up on the set because it's that hard to complete it, to be honest with you. And I could probably make some money and put it into something else. But in regards to what I'm looking for, that's one of them. If I can find those, I'll pick those up. And then, man, I have a list on my phone of like moments and stuff like that for tickets that I'm always looking for. Yeah. Like one of them, for example, like I'm a Westbrook fan. I know that he's getting shit on right now from everybody, but I've always liked
Jay, dude.
What?
Man, he can't hit a J right now, dude.
By the way, everybody's talking about his shooting. Like the guy has never been a shooter.
Yeah.
No, but not as bad as he has been this year, though.
Dude, look at his stats. He's never been a shooter. The guy has always been somebody to go and get to the rim. And the thing is, like, he's missing layups. He's missing dunks. I mean, that's what's odd to me. It's like, dude, you're all over the rim. Just throw the ball in the hoop.
So if you think, do you think if
he's to that point in his career, he don't give a shit no more.
No. Do you think if he spent more time on like in the gym, like shooting and doing layups and dunks than he does on his wardrobe, he might be a little bit better?
I have no idea.
That's how I always felt about him too. I'm like, he'd probably play better if he wasn't worried about his fashion show.
Showing his ankles. Enough of the Westbrook slander. That's my boy.
I like him too, man. It's just.
I'm kidding. But no, I mean, Westbrook. So like one of the tickets. I mean, this is cool for anybody. I feel like whether you like him or don't like him right now. Like I want to get his first ever triple double ticket. Like that to me.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
See, a lot of people, and I have his debut ticket, which is really hard to find because it's also the Thunder's first ever ticket as an organization. But I have that one. But like, I don't always just think of that. I think of like what moments are big. And to me, like, what is he known for? He's known for triple doubles. And that's when with tickets, it's fun because you get to think outside of the box a little bit more. And that's why I really want that ticket because I think that would be cool. Like his first ever triple double. Like that's what got it started, right? And that's what he's known for.
Yeah.
No, that'd be definitely sick.
I've got all kinds of crazy tickets, man. Like if you guys are familiar with Mark Sanchez, the butt fumble, I've got that ticket.
Yeah, I was looking at that actually, and I didn't pull the trigger on it. There was one for like $20 or something. I was like, should I or shouldn't I? I was like, everybody fucking knows.
Speaking of all this, that I kind of want to, start looking for now is the Dirk flu game, when LeBron and them were making fun of him, coughing and stuff in that game. Then he comes.
It's a great one, man.
Just because it's kind of a play on the Michael Jordan flu game, stuff like that. So,
by the way, they're pretty cool ticket. That's a great one, man. And especially you're in Dallas.
Yeah.
So especially being there, like, if you ever did decide to sell it, there would definitely be a market. You know what I mean? But they'll put on the slab Dirk flu game.
Yeah, that'd be badass. Yeah.
I actually haven't thought of that one. That's a cool one. Yeah, definitely keep your eye out.
You gotta add to your list.
I mean,
Agent Calavera, we're talking about football and basketballs.
Yeah. There's also another little piece of advice for you guys too, though. So what you will see, like for instance, if you go and look for Lamar Jackson debut or Josh Allen debut or Kyler Murray debut, it's going to be hard to find a ticket. But what you'll see passes. You'll see season ticket holder. How they give you the card.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of value.
After the Bucks fucking me on that. I don't even got one of those. They make me download an app.
Yeah, like that would be cool for like Brady's last season to have that pass, right? To me, I don't really collect the passes. This is the only pass I have. I have 2 of them, and it's a season pass. And the only reason why I have this is because it's more because of the entire season that it's special. It's when they had the NBA. It's when the Warriors had a 73-win NBA record season.
Yeah.
So to me, having the season pass for that is cooler because it's a full season. Meaning. So
I do see people for like example, like New England's perfect season. They have the whole fucking print line of tickets. Out there, and I'm like, I think that would be so much better if they had that.
Back to that pass. What was that again? The season pass for season.
Yeah, it's like if you're a season ticket holder, they'll give you a card instead of individual tickets.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So it's literally like, it's like a credit card material. It's plastic.
Yeah.
Bucks don't give me that. I never had one in the last 4 years.
I've never seen a Bucks one.
I've never seen those.
I've never seen a Bucks one. I mean, most teams have just gone fully digital. This was from 2015-16 for this. I've got 2 of these.
If you want something, I'll give you a good price. I'll screenshot my season tickets from this year.
You turn them into NFTs.
You never know, man. You never know. But yeah, the passes though. I have a chance right now. I'll just tell you guys. because you're not going to find it because it's from a private buyer, anyways. Not that you guys would, but none of your listeners would be able to find it either. I'm still debating. So it is a pass, which typically I'm against, but it's Messi's rookie season.
Oh, that'd be sick, dude.
And I'm like, my gut has always told me don't do passes just because they're not as cool as individual tickets. But for his full rookie season, that's kind of cool. And by the way, when you slab it with PSA, they'll recognize just any single game out of that season if you ask them to. So you can have them put Messi debut first goal.
Yeah.
Right.
Instead of it saying season pass. It'll say pass in the top. Like you can tell in the top where it says pass. You see that?
Yeah.
So it'll say pass, so you'll know it's a pass, obviously.
Yeah. No, but that, I mean, I was looking at actually Messi tickets too, like the other week, and I was like, some of these fuckers are so expensive, man. Like,
I've got some
especially,
cool
I mean, it's a world, it's most recognized sport in the whole world, but
I think his or
crazy.
Ronaldo's would be pretty expensive.
That's Mbappe's debut with France.
Oh, nice.
That's a big one. That's probably this might be right up there with the Brady ticket as one of my bigger tickets I have. But the soccer stuff, I'm a soccer fan, so the soccer stuff.
What about the Mbappe, the World Cup? France was his first World Cup, and he won it.
Yeah, you can actually pick up that. I think that's an underrated ticket. I've thought about buying it. I just haven't. I don't know why.
I just don't know soccer like that. And I know
get it, man. I mean, that's a good one. You can go and get his finals ticket, and it's probably like under $300.
Yeah.
And that's his first ever World Cup. It's his final, and he scored a goal in that game. Yeah. So you can literally
all three trifecta.
So you can get that thing slapped, and it would say, "Look, he's looking it up right now." You can literally
got the Dirk flu game.
Oh, there you go. So you probably have to look for it. Probably won't be listed on eBay as Dirk flu game. You probably just need to look up the year of that. Like the way I would look that up is I would type in whatever year it was, and then I would type in Mavericks, and then I would type in whatever team they were playing, and then I would put in ticket. That's how I would search it.
Okay.
And then you're going to have to make sure you get the right one, because if they played that team multiple times that year. Well, wait, that was a playoff game. That was a finals game. That was a finals game.
Finals against the Heat.
Yeah. So then that's different. Sorry. For a regular season game, that's what you would do. But if it's a finals game, just type in the year finals game 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right.
It's got to be out there. But yeah.
No, man, tickets. I mean, like I said, I mean, this hobby is great because it doesn't have to be just sports cars. It doesn't have to be just tickets. It can mix and match the few, but I mean, you're always gonna have a buyer for something. You might have to sit on it for a while, but you're always gonna have it. Got a Harry Potter. Is that your boy?
You just said it doesn't have to be sports. This is the ticket to the premiere showing of the first ever Harry Potter movie in the world.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. Wow. That's probably a decent amount of money, man.
That's what I'm saying. So and I just stumbled across that from somebody I was buying other stuff from. And he was like, I know this is random, but I have this. And I was like, what do you want for it? And it seemed like a fair price. And once again, this is when you got to trust your gut. Like, there's no comps. There's nothing for me to go off of. I just got to tell myself, like, okay, that seems like a good deal. I feel like I could find a buyer if I ever wanted to sell that.
I mean, Harry Potter's fucking big, dude. Like, my good friend is like a brother.
Yeah.
Literally, like, my brother is like big Harry Potter fan. He's our age. Yeah. Like, you'd probably be fucking interested in something like that. Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, there's always something for something. You might just have to sit down in a while. Like, that's why I tell people too that ask me like advice. I was like about flipping, or if they're asking about like investing. It's like what you said off the bat is the first thing I say is like buy what you like, because if you have to sit on it for a while, then you don't mind it.
Yeah.
And then 2, like, make sure, like, I was telling Mike this Calvary, I found myself in a wormhole at times. Like, I'm just buying shit, like, on eBay, like, I bought 2 Brady things yesterday, and I put, like, they were just low, so I just put up a number, like, with 3 seconds to go, like, thinking I'm not going to get it, and I get it. I'm like, fuck. But it was too good of a deal to pass up. Like, one of them was the 2017 Optic, the Tom Terrific card. It was a red, perfect PSA 10 for like $350. And I'm like, definitely could probably find that, home for that. Like, even though I don't really collect the newer stuff, but I'm like, it's numbered, it's low, 2 years from now, like, whatever. And then the other one was a 2007 Topps Chrome Blue Refractors. There's only pop 26 of it, $300. Like, so I was like, I feel like even though it was a PSA 8, like, it's only a pop 26 in whole or something like that. So I'm like, I definitely can find
that you're going to come across enough, collectors of players like that it's more safe. You know what I mean? Like, you're worst, like, if you had to move it, like, you're probably going to get at least your money back. Like, are you going to rich off of it? Maybe not, but hey, at least you have something you like right now that if push came to shove and you needed to move it, like, you're not going to lose money on it.
Yeah,
like, I'll go pick up. I'll have mail weeks where it's like a shitload of cars where it's nothing anybody special. I'll be hitting up like those ending soonest 99-cent auctions and stuff. And if it's numbered 25 or below or something, I'll snag them up, even if it's just just your basic player. I'm like, I can still turn around, flip that to somebody that pay $5-10 for it.
Yeah, you'll find the right buyer or something like that. And it's not like you're in much on it anyway, so it's not going to hurt you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've picked up a
scenario,
lot. That's what I've done with the how y'all are like into the downtowns and stuff like that. I tell Paul all the time, like, I love that Unleashed set, the baseball Unleashed set. I think those are badass, and I've pretty much got the whole set now. So I'm trying to go towards now getting the hollow set and stuff like that. So and
I've done
I find those pretty cheap, and I think if we get them all graded and stuff, I think they'll eventually, have a decent value on them, because I think kind of like downtowns, the artwork and everything.
Yeah, but the great thing is too is like you can sell that as the whole set, get them all graded, and like too, you probably get more out of it. Same with you for downtowns or moments is just because of the fact you did all the fucking homework and all the work put into it. So at that point, like you don't see many sets sell, so you could just put it at whatever. I would say like unrealistic numbers, but I mean you could probably get more value for it.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that's just it's going to be hard for somebody to be able to get a bulk amount of those from somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like you're never going to find, very few people have more than maybe 3 in their collection, and that's a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have like 40 to 50. I don't even know what I'm at right now. I've been up to almost 60 at one point. I sold some.
Yeah.
So it's fun, and to me it's cool. I think that they're one of the best looking cards out there. Some people hate them, but that's like anything else, right?
Yeah. I mean, you collect what you like.
Yep.
So,
I agree, man.
But I appreciate you being on the show for about hour 15, hour and a half. So.
Oh yeah, it was fun, man. A lot of nonsense going on with them tickets.
Now it's about tickets, man, and our audience as well too. So.
Well, I'll tell you right now, man, it's not too late to get into the ticket thing. They're already going up, obviously, but I still think that, the whole card world still hasn't fully, gotten on board with it. And once they do, it's just going to go up more. I've heard rumors that Fanatics is going to have a whole like sector that's going to be tickets. So,
oh, really?
I'm interested to see what that means. You know what I mean? But if that is the case where they're going to actually have like part of their website potentially that's going to be selling graded tickets, for instance, I mean, you can only imagine like that's just going to boost them up that much more.
And I wonder if something like that, with Fanatics doing that, and with the rise in tickets, if stadiums and every teams and everything will start printing them again instead of going all digital with them. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, the other thing is maybe they'll have the NFT version. Maybe they'll have the NFT version, but then what they'll do is allow for you to like go to the box office and get it printed if you want
the actual physical version. Yeah.
So because it's also a money thing, they don't want to print
E-Tops did back in the day. Like they said, hey, you got this fucking card, like Brady ones are
E-Tops.
they're all serial numbered, and they hold on to it. But if you want it sent to you, you can fucking get it. You could just request it.
Yeah, I have a couple of those.
Yeah.
The E-Tops, yeah.
So that's what I'm wondering, because I mean, teams don't want to have to print all those tickets too. I mean, I'm sure it saves them money, it saves them time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons why they probably don't want to have to print the tickets.
Yeah.
But maybe what they'll have is on the NFT, they'll have like, if you want the actual ticket, bring it to customer service or bring it to the box office and they'll print it for you. I don't know.
You can redeem it online or something.
You know what I mean?
See that would be perfect for me, because season tickets, I have Tom Brady's last game ever fucking played against the Rams. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I can't do anything with it because it's digital.
Yeah. It's got to be. You got to call them and see if there's a way to get a printed version of it.
Yeah.
Good luck. You won't. But yes,
I'm gonna fucking try. I'll tell you that. That's a great idea.
Some organizations will, to my understanding, the Bucks won't. Like I'm in a bunch of different ticket groups and stuff, and like if you go to a game that it's all digital, like some people will go to the box office and literally just tell them like, hey, I want a ticket to the game, and some teams will do it. They'll print it.
I'm gonna email my rep. Maybe because if I'm a season ticket holder, she may.
Maybe that's sometimes when they'll kind of do it for people like that. But to my understanding, the Bucks are one of the teams that are just like, no, I'm sorry, like we've gone fully digital.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing we could do. That was kind of like Curry. He did it at MSG. Remember, he broke the record at Madison Square Garden. I mean, there's people with deep pockets there, season ticket holders that have been ticket holders for years that told their rep, like, I want a physical ticket to this. And they said no to even.
I bet Spike Lee was in there trying to get one.
I mean, they said no to everybody now.
A movie out of it, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Crazy. So, anyways, it's just tough, man. I mean, to me, though, that's what makes tickets that much more exciting is, to me, I kind of don't want them to print tickets because the more rare that they become.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, it's gonna be funny 20 years from now when you like show your kids or grandkids or whatever, like,
What
hey,
is
I got
that?
this ticket. And they're like, you guys used to have a piece of paper to
Yeah.
get into a game. You know what I mean?
It's like showing them a cassette tape or something.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, man.
Yeah, that's yeah.
He's
That
emailing his rep right now. He's like, let me see what I can do.
right. He can be on the phone with
my
her here in a
shit.
second.
I'm trying to get that.
Yeah. I mean, that would be a great ticket because I mean, on the ticket they would put, Tom Brady last game.
Yeah.
Where is she?
That would be a badass ticket.
Email, but I don't even see it now. There she is.
It's fun,
Yeah,
man. There's a lot of different ways you can, I think memorabilia itself, like game used memorabilia itself, is still super undervalued. There's a lot of this stuff that
I do too.
I think that, just overall cards were kind of like the main vehicle that has gotten everybody's attention on this market. And I think that there's just so many different ways that you could still go.
Yeah, because it's crazy how, the undervalue of game used memorabilia, autographed memorabilia, and stuff like that. It's crazy how you could go get a autographed bat of Ronald Acuna or something like that for $300, $450.
Yep.
But then you got a card that's mass produced that somebody's paying $1,000 for. It's with no autographs just because it's a rookie card or something.
100%.
Email's
crazy.
It's just kind of like, which one would you rather have? Like when you really sit back and think of it, would you really rather have the card, which some people would, or would you rather have a game used bat that he hit his first hit with, or would you rather have, the glove from his first game? Like to me,
cleats or something.
I'd rather have the piece of the actual history in the moment, not the card.
Yeah.
But some people would say otherwise.
I mean, it's kind of like, would you rather have the card commemorating, the bloody sock, or would you like to have the bloody sock?
Exactly, right. You're a baseball guy. I mean, this is Wander Franco. This is his debut game. He signed it. He wrote MLB debut on it, and he wrote first home run.
Nice.
Like, I mean, this is an awesome ticket, man. And the cool thing about this is they did not print tickets for this game. The only way that you can get a printed ticket for this game was if you got one of the ones that the players gave to their friends and family.
Oh, really?
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's neat.
So that makes this one extremely rare. I think there's like a pop 6 total graded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's interesting, man. I mean, like me, I would rather have this than probably any of his rookie cards.
Well, you got to think this year's too, like the 1920, like the fucking mass produced, like not mass produced, but everybody submitted like Zion bases in. Like there's 30,000 of them. Like I don't want one of them. I would rather have something more rare.
At this point, it doesn't matter how good Zion's gonna be. There's 20,000. Yeah, exactly. I don't even know what the number's at now. It's probably way higher than 20,000. How many of those are there? I stopped looking.
It's like getting an Emmitt Smith Pro Set rookie.
Yeah, it's like there's so many of those graded, and not just graded, like PSA 10 graded. There's so many of them that it's like I don't care how good he's going to be. It's not even special. The PSA 10 Prism, I sold mine. I had one. I sold it for $350 when everybody was selling them for $400. I was like, I'll be cheaper than everybody. I sold it, and everybody called me an idiot for selling it. Yeah, and now what is that thing at now?
Yeah. I don't know.
What?
I got
$100.
I got a 9.5 Zion Orange Ice. That was like a $2,000 card. I got for like $400, I think. Shipping like $425 and all the fees. But like for me, like that one's least the print runs aren't as rare. But I feel like his shit's bottom. Like I don't know his status, and I don't really pay attention to NBA like that much. But I feel like he's trying to force his way out of New Orleans by not coming back. So I think once he comes back, he'll be good. Like his stuff will have that initial pop, and I'll be out of it. But hey, we lost him.
I think I lost you guys for a second. Can you hear me?
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, hey, we're back.
Gotta get some new internet over here.
Yeah, I see that. But no, I just think like his stuff, like he's trying to force his way out of New Orleans. I think once he goes to a new market, or if he gets out of there, whatever, like he'll have that initial surge. I'll let all that shit go, and that's it.
I think right now is a great time to buy his shorter print stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody thinks that his base prisms are going to go up. Like probably not, man. There's just too many of them out there. There's going to be enough. There's going to be enough people still willing to sell theirs for cheap that the people that are going to try to make money off it aren't going to be able to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I'm the same way. So I bought mine for $225 a piece
for the bases.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, his bases like they were 9s or whatever, and I was
start
like,
seeing them bases in those
I
dollar
sold them.
bins.
I sold them for $1.25. I sold them for $1.25. Like I was like, I'm fucking out, and I used that money to go buy like a light blue prism, a select, and then like a disco select where the print runs are so much shorter, and the light blue is numbered, I think, out of 199. And I was like, you know what? Like I took a $200 loss on these 2 cards, but I'm gonna make that if he technically has to play still and play well, but I'm gonna make that back fucking easily on those other cards. So my thing is like everybody's scared to lose money, but if you can like transition that money to something that's more rare and players that are, rookies are always speculation. But if you can transition that money into something else, like you're gonna make that the initial loss back, just like a stock, right? Like
you got to know when to move it, man.
Yeah. So I mean, I was okay moving it, flipping it, and into something else, and hoping that it, fucking lays off the Doritos and Mountain Dew.
Right.
You got the right mindset on it. But,
yeah,
man, good stuff,
buddy. Well, we appreciate coming on for the hour and a half now.
For sure. No, you're good, man. I can talk.
Man. It's fun when you start getting into everything.
For sure.
Yeah, man. Especially I'm down to get on to talk about. So.
Yeah, and I'm down to get on again if you guys.
Always. This year we want to have people on almost every week, man. And like obviously we can bring you on to talk tickets and show off different things you got, and everybody that's following and gonna see clips of this.
Ticket expert over here.
Do collection.
I'm still learning about tickets myself, man. There's a lot bigger players in the game, but the cool thing is because it's not as popular right now, even the amount that I know still seems expert level compared to most people. You know what I mean? And there's still people that know way more than me about this stuff. I mean, I'm in groups of people that have been doing this for years before it was even cool to do it. So
you talk to Darren Ravel?
He follows me. I talk to him all the time.
Yeah, see,
all the time. Yeah.
I seen his shit about tickets that was at the National, and that's kind of piqued my interest. And then I saw you talking to it, talking about it. And I was like, I should get one just to diversify a little bit.
He's somebody that people love and hate. But I'll tell you right now, like when it comes to the collectible market, he knows what he's doing. He does.
Yeah, he does definitely has a business mind, but the only thing that irks me about him, like I never met him in person, so I can't make an assumption. The only thing that irks me is like you're watching a game and he comes down and is like, well, the popcorn at this game was $3.50 now compared to $7. I'm like, who gives a fuck?
That's how he thinks, though. If you follow him, if you follow him, and like I follow him pretty closely now because like I talk to him all the time, and like he does know what he's talking about in this market, man. He really does, and like that's just how his brain works, man. He doesn't think of like the normal stuff. Like when he's at a game, he's not even paying attention as much to the game as he is like how the business is working around the game.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like his brain just works like that. And
I saw one of his tickets, and like I said, like we've been on here, and I know we keep dragging this on because I feel like
you're good. I can talk about it all day.
I saw one of his about like a Disney ticket that he got, like when it first opened or some shit. I forget what it was, but I was like,
exactly what you're talking about. You saw it on Sports Card Investor on their podcast, on their video
YouTube channel. Yeah, it's pretty neat. That's part of history.
It's funny because that actually, I was this close to buying a Walt Disney signed check. This close. Really? And it was graded by PSA, authenticated everything, and I just missed that. I actually messaged the person to buy it, and they were like, "Dude, it just sold 30 minutes ago." I was like, "No."
Did he tell you how much he sold for?
I think it was $5,000. $5,000. Which, dude, it was before he even opened Disney, so it was like young Walt Disney. It was cool because it was a very clean signature. But to me, like that stuff is, priceless to some people.
Part of history, dude.
Yeah, I've always thought that's pretty cool too. Like the checks and everything, or just bank signatures on their, going.
Even on baseball cards, they have like part of checks or whatever, or signatures on checks or
cuts. There's so many different directions you go, man. Rovell definitely knows what he's doing, though. He's a weird guy. He's a little socially awkward sometimes. Definitely sees things in a different way, but when it comes to collectibles, like. That guy's sitting on a gold mine.
Dude, we're all awkward. We're in our fucking late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah, we're all collecting
collecting cards. Like we're all weird in some sense.
Agreed.
But,
so
man, buddy,
if you guys ever want me to jump on, I know you were asking me for a while, and I wasn't dodging you. I literally just
our schedule weren't lining up. It's all good.
Yeah, I'll definitely be down to do this. It's fun.
Yeah, hell yeah, it was a blast, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for coming, dude.
Appreciate you
Thanks
guys.
for
If
all
you
that
guys
knowledge
ever
on
need
the
anything, you
tickets.
guys
Now
know where
it
I'm at.
piqued my
Oh God,
interest
yeah,
on it.
you're gonna get a fucking million questions from Calvary now.
Hey,
Hell
that's
yeah.
fine. No way, you guys hit me up on Instagram. I mean, you guys see the tag right there.
Yep.
I love talking this stuff. So,
Dude,
even if it's
fun.
just a chat, let me
It's
know.
crazy. All right, buddy. Well, have a great Sunday.
Thank you guys. Y'all take it easy, man.
All right,
All right,
you
man.
too.
Have a good one, brother.
Yeah.
Fun
Yeah,
guy,
that
dude. I
was-
love that kid, dude.
Yeah, that was fun, man. Got some more knowledge on the tickets. Got piqued my interest in it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're owning a part of history, in
And
retrospect.
I know you've talked to me about it too, but actually, hearing a little bit more, how he goes about.
Well,
goes
he
about it and
collects
everything.
like different spectrums of stuff. Like for me, like I associate all my collecting with like Brady and like ghosts.
Yeah.
And shit. So I mean, it might not pique anybody's interest, but like when you see like the whole variety of what you can collect ticket wise, not even like when we talked about Walt Disney, like fuck, dude, that's part of history,
And
like
that Harry Potter ticket he's
Yeah.
got, the season premiere for that. Yeah.
So I mean, it's just cool stuff, man. It's at the end of the day, man, that's what you say, collect what you like, dude.
Yeah.
So for me, like the Harry Potter ticket didn't really, spark like enthusiasm. I thought it was neat. Don't get me wrong, but like for me, like, but you're like, holy fuck, you took something away. Like I never even thought of that,
Yeah.
Like, I never even thought that shit either,
like the Harry Potter thing. That's not something I would specifically buy for myself. It'd be something I'd buy to turn around and sell. Like if I found it pretty cheap somewhere, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's pretty, that's a pretty cool thing. Let me turn around and sell it, But
I mean it's neat, and I mean this show's hour 45 minutes, so I know.
Yeah.
Let's just run through. I think we have one more thing to talk about PSA.
It was the let me go ahead and get that pulled up if you want to go ahead and start talking about it.
Yeah, so PSA stated regarding the Mark's Cards thing, this is a little bit of news, that they were going to honor the people that submitted the cards through Mark's Cards. They were going to grade them free of charge. That it said it would take some time to get through the order of it, but they're going to grade it free of charge. But the only thing that they'll bill you for is like if there's an upcharge on the card. So I thought that was really good for them to do. Actually,
this is courtesy of Card Porn, on Instagram, the breaking news for it.
So,
and it just goes through talking about, if you want to check out the entire thing, just go to Card Porn on Instagram.
Yeah, but I think that was great for the hobby after how much like it's been hit these past 2 weeks with like these people that don't deserve to be in it. So nice of them to do that, and then it's hopefully we can get back on track with everything.
Yeah, I think I'm not too familiar with the gyms only situation. I just, from what I've read on it, it's because they had a lot of altered cards being submitted by them, so they actually banned them from group submitting and everything. So
I guess someone, I don't think they were saying that they did it, but I guess someone was altering cards.
Yeah.
Trimming them or whatever. So they just kind of banned that.
But it also says that they were behind on payment too, that they weren't making payments. So, but yeah, all the Mark's cards there, it says with both of them together, 50,000 cards. So that's probably a nice little backlog for them to get done. So, but yeah, I mean, it's cool that they're letting the customers from Mark's Cards get them graded free,
Yeah, it's definitely something that spreads some positivity in this hobby.
Yeah,
after the last couple of weeks.
Appreciate Card Porn putting that out, so people could see that. And
all right, buddy. Man. Well, that concludes this. I think this is our longest episode, but it's good information. So
and like I said, we have fun talking about shit. So when we get somebody on here,
And I think next week we have another guest. I just want to solidify before I mention names or anything. So I think that'll be another good one. Someone that's been in the hobby for a while and a different perspective on what they like to do within the hobby and who they collect. So every week we're gonna try. Some weeks we might not have anybody, but we're gonna at least try to get people on the show.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. Yeah.
So, all righty, guys.
All right, man. Go follow us on Instagram if you haven't. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube.
Yeah, I think we're only 14 away from giving away free card. So so let's slam that, and then we'll hopefully next Sunday we'll be running the raffle.
Hell yeah. All right, man. Well,
All right.
take it easy. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
All right, man. Take it
See ya.
easy, yo. Peace.